This is Kit Green, one of the largest food processing plants on the planet, where engineering meets appetite. Every day, thousands of tons of dry navy beans arrive here, the foundational element of a global culinary icon. Before they can be cooked, these beans must be stored in precisely controlled environments to maintain their structural integrity. Precision is non-negotiable. Advanced optical sorters inspect every single bean to ensure only the perfect ones move forward. Mechanical vibration and gravity work in tandem to strip away the dust and debris of the harvest. Every day, hundreds of tons of dry haricot beans arrive at this massive hub, marking the start of a precision-engineered journey. These massive silos are the lungs of the factory, holding the raw potential of millions of cans in a climate-controlled environment. Pneumatic systems provide the most efficient way to transport the beans, moving them at incredible speeds without bruising the crop. A literal river of beans begins its ascent, guided by sensors that maintain a perfect flow rate into the cleaning stages. Technology is vital, but human expertise remains the final gatekeeper for the quality that defines the brand. Quality control starts the moment the crops arrive. Our specialists test every batch to ensure the moisture levels and protein content are exactly to specification. In the lab, we simulate the cooking process. We need to know exactly how these beans will behave when they meet our secret sauce later in the line. Coordination is key. We track every gram of produce through miles of conveyors to ensure nothing is wasted and the flow never stops. Safety is our absolute priority. Multiple stages of mechanical and magnetic filtration ensure that only the purest beans make it to the next stage. Stored in these cathedral-like silos, the beans are kept in a state of perfect preservation. From here, the true transformation begins. The journey begins here, where millions of dry navy beans arrive daily, sourced from the finest harvests to meet the rigorous Heinz standard. To maintain integrity, the beans are never touched by human hands, transported instead through a network of vacuum-sealed pneumatic tubes. Mechanical sieves oscillate at high frequencies, acting as the first line of defense against stones, pods, or any field debris. Weight is a sign of quality. Powerful air cladifiers lift away lighter, inferior beans, ensuring only the densest legumes make the cut. Our optical sorters scan 2,000 beans per second. Any bean with a single spot of discoloration is instantly rejected by a microburst of air. First, the raw haricot beans undergo a rigorous mechanical cleaning process where vibration and gravity separate the legumes from field debris. Advanced optical sensors act as the ultimate gatekeepers, utilizing high-speed lasers to detect and reject any bean that doesn't meet the golden standard. In the hydration tanks, the beans are steeped in purified water, absorbing moisture until they reach the exact density needed for perfect texture. Steam blanching is a critical thermal step that halts natural enzyme activity, locking in the quality before the beans are introduced to the sauce. Through a sophisticated system of water-filled flumes, the beans are transported with extreme care toward the final assembly point. At the heart of the Wigan facility, the journey begins with the arrival of premium navy beans, transported in massive quantities to meet global demand. Before a single bean can be cooked, it must be purged of any field debris through high-velocity air classification systems that sort by weight and density. Gravity separators exploit the unique mass of each legume, vibrating with surgical precision to remove even the smallest pebble from the production line. Advanced optical sorters scan every individual bean, using laser technology to eject any specimen that doesn't meet the strict color and shape standards. The beans are now moved via hydraulic flumes, a gentle transport method that begins the essential hydration process required for perfect texture. Every single bean is scanned individually. If it doesn't meet the color profile, it's gone in a millisecond. Water isn't just for cleaning, it's a high-speed highway that moves tons of beans every hour. Using gravity as a sieve, the system separates the beans from the grid of the fields. Precision is key. Even a 2% deviation in moisture could ruin the entire batch's texture. In these silos, the beans begin their transformation, absorbing the water that will eventually hold the sauce. Every day, hundreds of tons of North American navy beans arrive at the world's largest baked bean factory, beginning a journey of extreme precision. Before the beans can be cooked, they must be stripped of any impurities, using gravity and air to separate the harvest from the earth. Invisible magnetic fields act as a silent guardian, stripping away any metallic traces to ensure the final product meets stringent safety standards. Optical sensors scan thousands of beans per second, using high-pressure air to reject any bean that doesn't meet the iconic Heinz standard. Water and warmth begin the transformation, softening the dried beans and preparing them for the secret sauce that defines the brand. Every day, hundreds of tons of premium haricot beans arrive at the facility, marking the beginning of a highly choreographed industrial journey. Quality control starts at the microscopic level, where the physical integrity of every single bean is assessed for imperfections. Using advanced pneumatic technology, the beans are whisked through miles of piping at incredible speeds to reach the cleaning stations. Gravity and magnetism work in tandem to strip away impurities, leaving behind only the pure, cleaned beans. With the precision of a laser, the optical sorter identifies and removes outliers in milliseconds, guaranteeing total uniformity. Every day, hundreds of tons of navy beans arrive at the Wigan facility, marking the start of a journey that requires absolute precision in scale. Nothing escapes the gaze of the optical sorters, where laser precision identifies and removes any legume that fails the rigorous Heinz standard. Guided by air and steel, the beans are propelled through miles of pneumatic tubing, moving at high speeds toward their next critical transformation. The hydration process is a delicate science, where the exact temperature and mineral balance of the water begin to breathe life back into the dry harvest. In the density separator, physics does the work that the eye cannot, ensuring that every object moving forward is a perfect bean and nothing else. Every day, hundreds of tons of raw navy beans arrive at the facility, beginning their journey through one of the world's most advanced sorting systems. Mechanical sieving is the first line of defense, using gravity and vibration to eliminate impurities before the beans move to optical inspection. This is the real SpyCan test. Laser-guided cameras inspect every single bean, firing pneumatic jets to eject any item that doesn't meet the color specification. Water becomes the transport medium, washing the beans while moving them at high speeds through miles of stainless steel and polymer piping. In the hydration tanks, the beans double in size. Controlled temperatures ensure they absorb just enough moisture to achieve the perfect bite. The journey begins with the arrival of premium navy beans, moved by massive pneumatic systems that handle tons of product per hour. Optical sorters use advanced imaging to identify imperfections, firing precise bursts of air to reject any bean that doesn't meet the Heinz standard. Hydration is a science. The beans must absorb the perfect amount of water to ensure a consistent texture after the final cook. This is the SpyCan. It's a high-tech sensor array that travels through the factory to ensure every part of the process is operating at peak efficiency. Now fully hydrated and cleaned, the beans move at high velocity toward the heart of the factory for the filling stage. The journey begins here, where millions of high-grade haricot beans arrive from sustainable farms, ready to be transformed. Gravity and hydraulics work in tandem to feed the massive appetite of the production line with surgical precision. Nothing but the beans themselves makes it past this stage. Every piece of debris is mechanically filtered out. Invisible forces are deployed here to ensure that not a single speck of metal enters the food chain. Lasers and air jets work at the speed of light to pick the perfect bean, rejecting anything less than the Heinz standard. The journey begins with the arrival of thousands of tons of North American Navy beans, delivered daily to maintain peak production.
Before a single bean is cooked, it must pass through a gauntlet of mechanical filters to eliminate every impurity.
Optical sorters use advanced imaging technology to analyze every bean, rejecting anything that doesn't meet the golden standard.
Spy can prepped, sensors calibrated, releasing into the stream.
Copy. Telemetry is live. Watch for impacts.
Confirmed, it's in, blending perfectly. Good, data is flowing, no anomalies.
Precision storage and moisture control are vital to ensure that every bean hydrates perfectly in the cooking stage. To ensure every can is cooked perfectly, we use these spy cans, advanced sensors that track the journey from the inside. The process begins with the arrival of millions of dried haricot beans, harvested and shipped under strict quality controls. Rich, concentrated tomato paste is the heart of the sauce, arriving in vacuum-sealed drums to lock in freshness. The secret spice blend is the most guarded part of the recipe, handled with the same security as a bank vault. Even the cans start as raw materials, with massive steel coils arriving to be transformed into thousands of protective shells. Every batch of Heinz Baked Beans starts here, with the arrival of premium navy beans transported in bulk to our central processing hub. To maintain speed and purity, we use advanced pneumatic conveying systems that move the beans through the factory at incredible velocities. Quality control is automated and absolute. Our laser sorters scan every single bean, rejecting anything less than perfection in a millisecond. The beans are then soaked in purified water, beginning the essential hydration process that transforms their texture and prepares them for the sauce. Finally, any remaining impurities are stripped away through centrifugal force and high-pressure scrubbing, leaving the beans pristine and ready. Every day, tons of premium haricot beans arrive at the facility, beginning their journey through a series of precise mechanical checks. Mechanical sieves work at high frequencies to eliminate impurities, ensuring that only the highest quality beans move forward. Advanced optical sensors scan every single bean, using air jets to remove any that don't meet the strict color profile. Water flumes provide a gentle method of transport while simultaneously cleaning the beans and initiating the hydration process. Once cleaned and sorted, the beans are stored in massive silos, waiting for the precise moment they are called into the cooking phase. Every day, thousands of tons of high-grade navy beans arrive here, marking the start of a journey defined by extreme precision. In this high-speed world, lasers and air jets perform a mechanical triage, discarding anything less than a perfect bean in milliseconds. Controlled hydration is the secret to the perfect texture, where every gallon of water is filtered and temperature regulated for consistency. The beans are only half the story. Here, the raw components of the famous sauce are weighed and tested with scientific rigor. To see what the factory sees, we deploy the spy can, a high-tech scout designed to survive the heat and pressure of the production line. The journey of a Heinz bean begins here, at one of the world's most advanced food production facilities, where thousands of tons of raw materials arrive daily. Initial filtration is a violent but necessary process, using gravity and vibration to separate the harvest from the earth it left behind.
Pneumatic transport isn't just about speed, it's a sophisticated cleaning method that uses air pressure to ensure every bean is pristine.
If a single bean is the wrong shade or size, computer-controlled air jets remove it in a fraction of a second. To understand what the beans experience, we use a spy can, a high-tech sensor that travels the entire line to record every bump, heat change, and pressure spike. The journey of the iconic Heinz Baked Bean begins here, at the world's largest bean processing plant, where millions of legumes arrive daily. Purity is paramount. Every single bean must pass through a rigorous mechanical gauntlet to ensure only the highest quality product moves forward. Using hyperspectral imaging, we see beyond the surface, checking for moisture and density with mathematical precision. To maintain speed without sacrificing quality, the beans are flown through the factory using air, traveling miles in mere seconds. In these massive hydration silos, the beans wake up, absorbing the exact amount of water needed to achieve that perfect bite. The journey begins with the arrival of premium haricot beans, harvested and dried to precise specifications for the Heinz recipe. At this scale, logistics is a science, moving hundreds of tons of raw materials daily into the heart of the plant. Using gravity and air pressure, every single bean is separated from field debris to ensure absolute purity. High-definition cameras analyze every bean in milliseconds, rejecting anything less than the perfect shape and color. Now fully cleaned and sorted, the beans move toward the hydration phase where they will begin their transformation into the final product. Every single bean in a Heinz can begins its journey here, arriving in massive quantities that demand a sophisticated pneumatic intake system. Precision is paramount. Our optical sorters scan every bean for imperfections, using air jets to remove anything that doesn't meet the Heinz standard. Beyond visual checks, mechanical vibrators and air knives work in tandem to strip away every fragment of dust and field debris. Soaking is a science of time and temperature, perfectly hydrating the beans to ensure they reach the ideal texture during the cooking process. A final centrifugal wash and magnetic sweep act as the last line of defense, ensuring that only the purest beans move forward to be canned. Every single can undergoes a final X-ray density scan to ensure total purity and weight accuracy. The cans are grouped and shrink-wrapped into durable trays, ready to withstand the rigors of global distribution. Robotic arms stack the cases with mathematical precision, preparing hundreds of thousands of cans for the final journey. From this hub, millions of cans are shipped to kitchens around the world every single day. And that's how Heinz Baked Beans are made in the factory. The real spy can test is made, from raw materials to the final product.